What if you could brainwash yourself to be successful and have anything you could ever want in your life? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do so and the exact methods that I've used to brainwash myself for success, despite growing up in a household where I was poor financially. I grew up in a household where I was taught that most men suck and that money is the root of all evil. There were just certain beliefs that I was instilled with growing up that stuck with me, inhibited me from living the life that I wanted to live. A life where I would be in a happy relationship and I would have good relationships with men, and a life where I would be abundant and successful. Since I grew up in a way where I was constantly told these beliefs that were passed on to me, this is what my logical mind saw the world like. What if I told you that everything that's standing in your way of success is your mind? The part of your mind that is always chatting, always has something to say. That part of your mind oftentimes makes up specific scenarios that are not true. And those specific scenarios are blocking you and, if you want to call it, sabotaging you from being successful. And the reason why this is happening is because we are so programmed from childhood to believe all these things that the logical mind says to us. So, for example, if the logical mind says that it's normal to be in an abusive relationship, that's all that we're going to attract. If that's normal to us, that all men are evil or all women are evil or whatever, that is all that the logical mind will see. And that will come to fruition because that's what the logical mind believes. And the first step is identifying your blind spots. What are you not seeing? And what is truly holding you back? And why is that? So, for example, are you consistently getting into abusive relationships or relationships where someone isn't choosing you? Is that because you grew up in a household where there was some sort of relationship dynamic like that? If that's the case, that is one of your blind spots. What really has helped me is to identify all of the blind spots in all different aspects of my life. So, for example, going through identifying the blind spots with health. And then why is it that you're not exercising? Is it because growing up, exercise wasn't something that was a priority for your family? And going into that, identifying them and bringing awareness to all of this, just bringing it up to the surface so we can work towards releasing these things and knowing that the logical mind may try to fight us in these areas, but we can choose to not listen because we have a heightened sense of awareness. We can do the same thing with money, wealth. Did we grow up in a household where there wasn't much money and nobody could ever get money? And so is that connected to always consistently having low-paying jobs or whatnot? Identifying each of the separate aspects of your life, health, wealth, romantic partners, friendships, all these specific areas, whichever ones that you are wanting success. And once you've come aware of all of these blind spots, I want us to begin to replace the I can't be in a healthy relationship. I'm not the type of person to be wealthy. And replacing the inner conversations that we're having, because the inner conversations that we're having dictate our reality and how that shows up. So if we're constantly having the conversation with ourselves that we're not that type of person and I can never have that life or whatnot, that's what's going to show up for us. So beginning to change the way we speak to ourselves and change the way we're having conversations with ourselves. Something else that we can use that is a powerful tool at attracting success and brainwashing ourselves to be successful is the power of gratitude and feeling so immensely grateful for everything in this life and allowing yourself to live and marinate in that gratitude in all aspects. Whenever you receive anything, someone gives you a compliment, right before you go to bed tonight, feel the gratitude of sleeping in a comfortable bed, having a roof over your head, having a fan going, having food on the table, all the simple things, marinate in it. Because the more grateful we are, the more we are vibrating on a frequency of light and a frequency of peace and fulfillment. And when we radiate on that frequency of fulfillment, we quite literally are being that more successful version of ourselves. And the third way we can brainwash ourselves for success, and something that I have used so many times in my life and continue to use on a daily basis, is hypnosis. And this can be self-hypnosis, or this can be hypnosis with a professional. When we reprogram our subconscious, all of those limiting beliefs that we've had in the past, when we release those and we rewrite those stories in a state of hypnosis, we can quite literally be that higher version of ourselves immediately. When we rewrite all of those old subconscious programs that have been running in the background all of our lives, that is how we can truly be free. So when we learn self-hypnosis, or when we see a hypnotherapist professionally, we can rewrite these specific patterns within us. When we visualize ourselves, especially in hypnosis, being the best versions of ourselves, the highest, most authentic versions of ourselves, we are able to also step into that embodiment. And we can begin to do this by, for example, laying down or sitting in a chair, whatever feels best for you, imagining that you are already living in that reality in which you want to live. Visualizing yourself in that space. Visualizing yourself being that version and feeling it. Instead of focusing on the logical mind, focusing on the feelings that you would feel if you already had it. Because the feeling is the secret. It's not all the words, it's not what you see, it's how you feel. That's how we step into the embodiment of who we're meant to be and who we can step into right now. And that also ties into the law of assumption. The law of assumption is assuming that you already have what it is you desire. Are you desiring to be in a wonderful relationship? Then how would you feel right now if you were in that relationship? You would feel loved, you would feel supported, you'd be fulfilled, you'd feel happy. So how can you tap into those things right now? Do your friendships help you feel supported and help you feel loved? How can you pour more energy into those friendships? When we feel loved and supported, that is when we can fully embody that frequency, and therefore, whatever we would like is a lot easier for it to land in our laps when we are already feeling that way. For example, in an even logical sense, if you are feeling supported, if you're feeling happy, if you're feeling joyful in your life, and you're walking around going through life like that, it's going to be so much easier for you to attract a partner, for someone to come into your life, to just show up honestly, than if you are in a state of desperation or you're kind of miserable. That energy is going to leak out into the world. And people are going to be able to tell, and energy does not lie. Same thing if you're going out for a job interview. If someone can tell you're desperate for the job, instead of in a calm, collected, professional manner, then they're going to be way less likely to give you the job rather than you feeling confident and okay if you don't get the job or you do get the job. With that security and assurance within yourself, you are so much more likely to attract all of the amazing things in this life, rather than coming from a state of desperation or lack. So truly, the law of assumption is one of the best ways to attract anything that you want in this life and to truly brainwash yourself for that success. Because if you're assuming that you're already having it, you will feel so much more grateful for everything in your life. And it will show up. It always does. When we live our lives from a place of abundance rather than a place of lack. And this is why I'm making this video, is because we are here on this earth to break down the limitations that aren't for us. And I want to help you do so as well. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.